This media report created quite a buzz on social media among Indian defense enthusiasts. The report bizarrely claims that the Indian military might acquire the Turkish S400 air defense system. The headline was quickly picked up by Indian websites, citing what can best be described as rumors. Now let's be clear, the Indian Air Force is still awaiting delivery of the remaining 2 S400 regiments from Russia. In fact, Moscow has delayed deliveries by over 3 years now. But getting them from Turkey is just unthinkable, a country which backed Pakistan amid tensions with India in the aftermath of the cowardly Pahalgam terror attack in Kashmir by a Pakistan-backed terror group. Moreover, Prime Minister Modi did not even hold a meeting with Erdogan at the SCO summit in China and only gave the Turkish leader a pat on the back in what many saw as a power play. So in such a situation, can India even think of buying the S-400 from Turkey? I don't think so, and I'll tell you why. This Indian Defense News report also highlights the issues with the original news report and goes into the background of how and where they surfaced. According to Turkish media, Russia has offered to buy back its S-400 air defense system, which was once sold to Ankara in 2019 as part of a multi-billion-dollar deal. However, Turkish media claims that Russia might sell it to a third country and that India could be one of them. They added that after upgrading the system, India could receive the delivery of the S-400. However, there is no confirmation whatsoever from any official from any of the countries mentioned, neither Turkey nor Russia, let alone India. In fact, Turkish officials have expressed their objection to selling the S-400, highlighting the combat readiness and neglecting the criticism from within NATO due to the arms purchased from Russia. Reports suggest Erdogan, though, is keen to make amends with America after the US kicked Turkey out of the F-35 program and imposed CAATSA sanctions due to the S-400 purchase. Similarly, for India, buying the S-400s from Turkey would be highly doubtful at this moment, considering that India would prefer new, customized systems rather than old and refurbished ones that were designed and manufactured for another country. But no one can stop Turkish media from speculating. In the past, the Turkish defense minister refused to resell the S-400 air defense system. In 2024, he said that the country's owned S-400s are operational and can be deployed within 12 hours if appropriate orders are given. He added in May 2024 that Turkey would not sell its S-400 missile system to any other country. Now, India and Russia signed a deal in 2018 when New Delhi decided to purchase 5 regiments of the S-400 air defense system for $5 billion. So far, only 3 regiments have been delivered, while the remaining 2 are delayed due to ongoing territorial tensions with Ukraine. Turkey bought the S-400 from Russia a year later in 2019 but has faced challenges in operating and integrating the system due to NATO rules and regulations along with US sanctions. So Turkey has bought the S-400 but is not actively using it. It's packed, folded and kept in cold storage. The S-400 has become Erdogan's $2.5 billion geopolitical blunder. Not only Turkey can't use it, the country was even dumped by America from the F-35 program, and then US even imposed sanctions on a fellow NATO member. In such a scenario, there is absolutely no way India would bail Turkey out of its conundrum. Turkey was exposed for helping Pakistan during Operation Sindoor by providing them with armed drones and loitering munitions. India-Turkey ties have plunged since then. India's Deputy Chief of Army Staff, Lieutenant General Rahul Singh, also revealed, quote, Turkey also played an important role in providing the type of support it did. They gave Bayraktar and numerous other drones to Pakistan, unquote. He also elaborated how they were not 1 but 3 adversaries in Operation Sindoor, as he also highlighted China and Turkey's roles, who provided Pakistan arms as well as missiles and weapons. Needless to say, not only Indian Air Force shot down every Turkish drone, Indian Air Force also smashed Pakistan's Chinese air defenses. India still needs the S-400 and is even considering acquiring additional squadrons of it. However, they would be built and custom made for India. The S400 will give India a decisive advantage against adversaries like China and Pakistan. It will give a strategic advantage in sensitive areas such as Jammu and Kashmir and the LAC in Ladakh. Having a manufacturing or maintenance facility in India would also encourage the Indian defense sector to acquire new expertise. However, the deal could affect the India-US relations differently. The US has openly stated it wants India to reduce purchase of Russian military hardware as well as its oil imports. India avoided the CAATSA sanctions, or the Countering America's Adversaries Through Sanctions Act, that treat Russian arms buyers back in 2019. However, nothing is certain with the current Trump administration. Any S-400 purchase might give the White House an excuse to impose additional tariffs on India. The Modi government, though, has made it clear India will not bend to US pressure. The S-400 air defense system is widely considered one of the most powerful systems in the world. If we look at its features, it is capable of engaging targets up to 400 kilometers away at an altitude of 30 kilometers. It secures far greater areas than other air defense systems. This Russian origin system ensures robust defense against aircraft, drones, ballistic missiles, and cruise missiles. The upgraded S-500 radar can even lock and detect stealth fighter jets, hypersonic missiles over Mach 5, as well as AWACS over 400 kilometers away. Simultaneously, it can engage with up to 36 targets, which is far more than the Chinese HQ-9, which was beaten and destroyed by the Indian military during Operation Sindoor. Now, comparing S-400 with India's own homegrown air defense system, the Akash has a maximum range of 30 kilometers. It's capable of tracking 64 targets at a time and engage 4 targets simultaneously. It can be deployed from transportation to mission ready in just 15 minutes. Spider, an Israeli air defense system that India owns, has a maximum range of 15 kilometers and is capable of targeting aircraft, drones, and missiles. With the ability to have a maximum engagement of up to 8, it takes just 10 minutes to be deployed. The US Patriot has a range of 150 kilometers and service ceiling of 20 kilometers. It can target aircraft and missiles with maximum engagements up to 9, but limited capabilities of intercepting stealth aircraft. The Chinese HQ-9 air defense system has a greater maximum range of 200 to 300 kilometers and can target aircraft, missiles, and has a maximum engagement capacity of up to 6. However, that's lower than India's Akash. However, Indian Air Force and Indian Army beat Chinese air defenses and destroyed terror camps in 9 Pakistani cities and then hit nearly 10 Pakistani air bases, as proven and confirmed by satellite images. So the HQ-9 can be easily beaten in combat. Operation Sindoor was also a demonstration of made-in-India weapons like the BrahMos missile, striking deep inside Pakistan at will. But coming back to India's requirement of the S-400, do you think there's any chance India will buy it from Turkey? Leave a comment with your opinion, hit the like button and subscribe to Inconnect News.